think, Marge. All I need is a title.
Look, Mom. I drew our family in school today.
Oh, wow.
I didn't have time to finish Caleb's face. Carrie drew two mommies. She told me they're married to each other. My teacher says that all that matters is that people love each other and that they're happy.
Your teacher sounded reasonable. As long as adults are not harming themselves or someone else, what they are doing is most likely okay. Hey, that's pretty good. We don't have much else to say. I guess we can wrap this up. Roll credits! Oh, wait. There's more? The mother says something stupid? Oh, crap.
Well, people have their own ideas about what is right and wrong. But what matters is how Jehovah feels.
Oh, so we're supposed to ignore what everyone around us thinks and rely on the warped opinions of the also warped Jehovah's Witnesses version of the fictional Sky Daddy, as relayed to us by one of his cultists. Great. This is gonna go well.
He wants us to be happy, and he knows how we can be happiest. That's why he invented marriage the way he did.
Except that marriage is a legal, social, economic, and religious institution that predates Christianity and is one of the oldest human institutions in existence. It has little to do with God, except where we allow him to be. If God created marriage, one would think that he would have more control over how it developed over the course of human history, which would probably have been a bad thing considering his record and rhetoric on the treatment of women.
You mean one man and one woman?
Exactly. Look at Genesis 1:27. Jehovah created Adam and Eve, male and female. Then in Genesis 2:24, he said that a man will stick to his wife.
Because something gooey happened? See, when God doesn't leave details, it allows humans to make wild guesses as to his opinion and how he did something.
Later, Jesus said the same thing. Jehovah's standards haven't changed.
And even a cursory examination of the biblical roles of women in marriage shows apparently what God thought they should get out of the whole thing. It sure seems good for men, because women have no authority or teach men about anything. Talk about mansplaining. They are not to have any authority of any kind over men, so no women in the police force, no women politicians, nor even women teaching men in Sunday school. The role of women is to be in the home, subservient to the husband. In fact, the Bible apparently served as the religious guide for the Muslim demand that women wear head coverings while in church. See, it took the development of civilization and other human interventions to correct the many wrongs that God did when he created marriage, if he created the institution at all, as the video suggests. In the biblical form of marriage, women have no rights, and of course, they could not get a divorce. It took the development of a civil society into something more equal and fair to all parties to allow women to assume the role of true partner in the marriage relationship.
It's kind of like going on an airplane. What would happen if someone wanted to bring something on the plane that wasn't allowed?
They couldn't go on their trip.
Right. It's the same with Jehovah. He wants us to be his friend and live in paradise forever. But we have to follow his standards to get there. At Matthew 7:13 and 14, it talks about the road leading to paradise. To get there, Jehovah says we have to leave some things behind. That means anything Jehovah doesn't approve of.
Which is a lot. No one living now could meet the standards set by the goat herders living 3,000 years ago when they came up with the religion. However, your comparison is flawed. Human relationships are not like a trip that you go on to get to heaven. They are instead more like a contract between the people in the relationship, and that contract, lasts as long as all the people involved feel that they are getting something from the relationship. If that condition changes, the relationship changes to accommodate the new reality between the people, or it breaks apart, and marriage is no different.
But I want everyone to get to paradise.
So does Jehovah. And you know what? People can change. That's why we share his message. So, what can you say to Carrie?
Well, I could tell her about the paradise. I could tell her about the animals and the resurrection.
That's awesome!
This is where I have a problem with the video. Telling a child that it is awesome to talk to adults about anything, much less their relationships, is fucking stupid, and likely to result in that child losing a friend. The other child's parents are likely to forbid their child from hanging out with this girl after their child comes home and tells them what was said, if the child's dumb enough to do that at all. And this part of the video is not even biblical. Right after telling women that their place is to be in the home, subservient to men, Ephesians 6, 1-3 says, "Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Honor your father and mother, which is the first commandment with a promise, so that it may go well with you, and that you may enjoy long life on the earth." Nowhere in the Bible does it tell children to lecture their parents about their relationships, which tells us that even the goat herders creating the religion didn't want children meddling in the affairs of adults. In fact, this is somewhat reinforced in the early life of Jesus, who at the age of 12 had the following encounter as reported in the Bible at Luke 2:41-50. Every year, Jesus' parents went to Jerusalem for the festival of the Passover. When he was 12 years old, they went to the festival according to the custom. After the festival was over, while his parents were returning home, the boy Jesus stayed behind in Jerusalem, but they were unaware of it. Thinking he was in their company, they traveled on for a day. Cutting in here for a moment, these had to have been the dumbest parents ever. If you were a parent heading home from a trip, how would you go more than a few minutes without knowing where your child was? One would think you would call the boy before you left to make sure that he was with you, but these stupid people go an entire day without noticing that he was missing. And it was not like, oh, he's somewhere in the caravan. The Bible clearly states that they thought Jesus was with them. So apparently somewhere along the 65-mile hike back to Nazareth, if Mary and Joseph took a break to have lunch, they didn't notice Jesus was missing at that point. So these people were either dumber than rocks or denser than lead. Anyway, let's continue with the story. They then began looking for him among their relatives and friends. When they did not find him, they went back to Jerusalem to look for him. After 3 days, they found him in the temple courts, sitting amongst the teachers, listening to them and asking them questions. Everyone who heard him was amazed at his understanding and his answers. When his parents saw him, they were astonished. His mother said to him, "Son, why have you treated us like this? Your father and I have been anxiously searching for you." "Why were you searching for me?" he asked. "Didn't you know I had to be in my father's house?" But they did not understand what he was saying to them. First off, the dumb parents were not astonished. They were angry. The quote was not, "Oh wow, son, you know more than these teachers and learned men. That's amazing." No, Mary was like, "What the fuck are you doing? Your father and I just spent 4 days looking for you in a rather large city. Where do you get off disappearing like this?" Then Jesus spouts some line about having to be in his father's house, which must have floored Joseph. At that point, Joseph had to have turned to Mary and said, "He's your kid now, or I'll kill him." Because please note that Joseph disappears from the story after this, while Mary becomes a follower.
Let's practice.
Barlock, attack!
No, it's Sparlock.
Caleb!
We need someone to save us.
Caleb.
Sparlock can activate your magic, Sparlock.
Hi. How was school today?
Fine. Look at Sparlock's magic key.
Caleb, what toy is that?
It's Sparlock, the warrior wizard.
Whoa, a warrior wizard.
Yeah, my friend gave it to me. All the kids are going to see the movie. Can I see it too?
Oh, your friend gave this to you.
And right there it is. The judgmentalism. At least they're honest enough to put it in the video.
You look pretty excited about this.
And my job is going to be to smash your excitement.
Why don't you come over here and get your snack, okay?
You can see the gears turning now. What fucked up thing am I going to have to tell my son to get him to ditch this little toy that I don't like? I think I'll guilt trip him over God. Yeah, I think that ought to do it.
Is this toy magical?
Mm-hmm.
Caleb, who likes magic? Jehovah or Satan?
Satan.
This part of the video doesn't seem to be biblical either. When I looked up Bible, Satan likes magic, I got these results, including references to 1 Peter 5:8-9, which says, "Be alert and of somber mind. Your enemy, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion looking for someone to devour. Resist him, standing firm in the faith, because you know that the family of believers throughout the world is undergoing the same kind of sufferings." There is no mention of magic anywhere in this verse, and in fact, the things that Jesus did in his life certainly could come across as magical. So, when the good guys do it, it's called a miracle. But for anyone else to even think about it is evil. What if young Caleb here was playing with a Jesus doll, and he was role-playing some of the miracles that Jesus was said to have performed? Would his mother have a different opinion, or would it still be considered evil? See, this whole thing is not new either. When I was a child, the big evil doll was Dungeons and Dragons. Before that, it was something else, and before that, it was rock music. Parents never fully get into or agree with what their children are interested in, and they always try to get their children to conform.
Right. Magic is bad. That's why Jehovah hates it. Do you really want to play with something that Jehovah hates?
Ah, see, the guilt trip has been laid. Would you want to play with something that makes God mad?
Do you remember who we learned about at family worship? Who is this?
Adam and Eve.
Who look really, really good in that picture. Geez, age must have fucked them up. Talk about not growing old gracefully.
Right. Did they obey Jehovah?
No, they disobeyed Jehovah, and he got very sad.
So what if you disobey Jehovah and play with toys he doesn't like?
So, in the previous video, God is interested in the personal lives of everyone, right down to who they form an intimate relationship with. And in this video, he's interested in what toys children play with. For someone who supposedly created the universe, God's scope has really gotten very small.
Do you think Jehovah will be happy or sad?
Oh, and the connection is made. The Sky Daddy's going to be sad.
Sad?
Yeah. Do you want Jehovah to be sad?
No! I don't want Jehovah to be sad with me.
No, I don't want Jehovah to be sad with you either.
See, now we have the helpful parent. No, I don't want the Sky Daddy to be sad with you.
So what do you think you should do with this toy?
The problem here is this. Whose toy was just thrown away? Caleb said that his friend gave him the toy, so it might be his. But even then, this friend might have an interest in such things like Harry Potter and so on, and might invite Caleb to play at some point. And hey, Caleb, go get Sparlock. And what does Caleb say at that point? Or even worse, the toy was not meant to be Caleb's permanently, and his mother just guilt-tripped him into throwing out something that did not really belong to him. So in both videos, we see Jehovah's Witnesses' parents brainwashing their children, and our children by extension, that it is right to interfere in the lives of adults, and that it is right to destroy someone else's property if you don't agree with it.
Caleb, I am so proud of you. You made Mommy very happy. And you know who else is happy?
Jehovah.
Yes. Jehovah loves you very much for obeying him, Caleb.
Shut up! That's just morons! I'm surrounded by morons!
Yeah, Caleb, the Sky Daddy's not going to roast you alive in a burning fire pit for eternity.
Hey, you know what I want to do?
What?
I want to go ride bikes.
Yay!
Let's go!
So now, being fully brainwashed, Caleb goes and does what his mom wants him to do. Rather than doing anything a child might want to do, he does what the adult wants him to do.